Welcome back to Play and Trade Guitars. I'm John, that's Zach behind the camera, and this is Play and Trade Guitars, where we play it and trade it. Fender has the brand new American Ultra 2 series. This is top of the line, modern performance, taking classic models like the Telecaster, the Stratocaster, and the Meteora, which is super cool. But today we are checking out the brand new Ultra 2 Telecaster with an Ebony fretboard. I'll tell you everything you need to know about this guitar. We'll put it on the bench and pull it apart. Of course, we'll plug it in and play it. But at the top, we are giving away a guitar, and to be in it to win it, make sure you are subscribed. Hit subscribe now if you haven't, and sign up down below. You'll find that in the description or pinned in the comments. And if you're in the market for any new gear, click to buy that new gear using our link. It helps us make these videos, and in the States, you'll get fast free shipping, easy payment plans. And I'll tell you what, it makes buying a guitar like the Ultra 2 much easier when you can use one of our payment plans, so check that out below. All right, without further ado, let's pull this out of the case and take a first look. All right, check out that finish. The official color, and the polite name for this color, is Solar Flare. It looks metallic and solid, to say the least. It's got this beautiful ebony fretboard, and I'll tell you the standout immediately when you just take this out of the case is the neck. They've put a lot of work and thought into this neck. Not only is it a quarter sawn maple neck with a beautiful compound radius ebony fretboard, you've got these rolled edges and just performance touches like ultra satin finish on the back of the neck. And the contours on the body itself, it's not your slab traditional Telecaster. It's got this really contoured take on the Telecaster body that makes accessing the upper register really easy. Even the frets themselves. This guitar is just extremely playable, and you notice it as soon as you pick it up. So I really can get behind that. You got locking tuners, great touch there as well. You got this anodized pickguard. This one's in black. On some of the other models, like the Telecaster, we have a sunburst and a maple fretboard. That's going to have the gold anodized, so very traditional looking, but very solid looking as well. And then you have Fender noiseless pickups. I'm really excited to plug that in and see how these sound. I have not traditionally been a fan of the noiseless pickups, but we're going to give this a fair shake and see how they're doing in their current iteration. You got an S1 switch in the volume, traditional tone, and then a three-way. And Zach pointed this out. I almost completely missed it. It's angled like a Strat. I thought that was kind of a cool touch. So let's put this on the bench and pull it apart before we plug it in. And make sure you hit subscribe. We are giving away a guitar. We got a big announcement coming, so stay tuned. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Let's hit the bench. All right, top shelf components on this guitar, you can just see it in all the details. So starting up at the top of the headstock, you got that gold Fender Telecaster. Even the string tree just looks premium, doesn't it? Flipping it over, you can see those Fender locking tuners, which are a must on my Fenders that I take out to play live with. I just love those because it makes changing strings so quick. Satin finish on the back of this neck. In fact, if I can catch it in the light just right, this quarter sawn maple neck is actually flamed out too, and it looks really nice as you get down towards the bottom here. Compound radius, so it goes from some more kind of modern 10-inch radius, and then a more flat 14-inch radius as you go up the ebony fretboard. Beautiful piece of ebony. Ebony now preserves a lot of its natural streaking, the way it comes from the producers, and I think that it just looks fantastic here. You got these pearloid dot markers, but check this out. These are actually, these dots here actually glow in the dark, these position markers, and that really helps if you're on stage. If you've ever been with the lights blacked out before a song starts and you're trying to get ready for that intro riff, and you're the only one on in the intro and you can't see where your hand is, the idea here is that these will luminesce and glow to show you where you're at. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like I said, anodized pickguard, solar flare finish. Looks a little pea green, but it is a pretty cool metallic finish. It looks beautiful in terms of that metallic gloss finish. Alder body, majorly contoured. You got the comfort cut and the major heel contouring going on. Even here, this is pretty extreme. I've not seen this before, even on the horn itself. And just very playable experience, like I said. They went with a very modern six-saddle design here, so you have more precision over the intonation of the tuning and all of that. S1 switch, three-way blade, and then just the tone. Let's get the strings out of the way and get some measurements. If you do take the 4 screws out, you got to make sure you watch because the lengths are different. Because of the contour on this heel, you got these short stubby screws that go in on the thinner part. You wouldn't want to put the longer ones in and risk cracking anything. American Ultra 2 on the plate, and then we'll flip around this contoured heel and pop this neck out. August 2024 production date on this. And again, talking about the radius on this fretboard, you get flatter as you go up to allow for speed. And then they've got these beautiful rolled edges, and satin finish just feels great in the hands. Let's go ahead and get a measurement. 1.68 inches at the nut, You have a D-shaped neck, 0.8 inches at the first, up to 0.85 inches at the 12th. Alder body comes in at 1.78 inches thick. Anodized pickguard just looks beautiful. Picking that up, you can see actually you're routed for options here. If you want to go mod crazy, you got a humbucker route in the neck position, and then you even got a middle route if you want to go Nashville style. You can see the back of that noiseless pickup. It looks like a futuristic circuit board noiseless pickup. Lifting up the control cabinet, you can see that real tall S1 pot there, and then a traditional 250K pot for tone, and that blade switch. It looks like a kind of a quick connector system to get those noiseless wired up here. Super tall pot there. Well, look at this, is interesting too. It's got that, they actually routed the body right there to accommodate this diagonal blade switch. You could tell they had to make, and it goes all the way down. There's a little extra route because that's how tight that fitting is. Traditional Telecaster three-way blade, you got volume and tone with the S1. On a Telecaster, the only position that the S1 will have anything to do with is middle position. And with the S1 up or not engaged, it's going to be traditional parallel middle position. If I push the S1 switch in middle position, I will get a series wiring. I'm making this like one giant humbucker, a little more powerful output. So that'll be the only thing that the S1 does on the Telecaster in this situation. Let's flip on the multimeter and get a reading on the pickups. We're at a pretty hot 10.2 in bridge, 10.2 in neck, 5.2 combined, and the S1 shouldn't actually, oh wow, it does. Okay, 19.7 when I push the S1 for whatever that's worth. It feels pretty light. Let's see where this comes in. 7 pounds, 10 ounces, we'll call it 7.6 pounds. Pretty ideal weight for a Tele. Flipping the guitar around. I wouldn't say it has an outwardly projecting sound, but it's got a nice, clear, even sound. Maybe coming from that dense ebony fretboard. Not quite as projecting, but I'm telling you, this neck feels fantastic in my initial kind of playthrough here. I'll remind you, if you're in the market for this guitar or any other gear, click to buy new gear using our link. You'll find that in the comments or down in the description. It makes buying a $2,200 guitar real easy when you use the payment plans. Trust me, check that out below. You will not be sorry. This is my favorite part. Let's get this guitar plugged in. I'll show you clean tones, we'll dirty it up, and then let it sing behind a track. Stick with me. On the other side, I'll give you my raw, honest reaction to playing this along with the final score. So drop a comment as we go. Let's get plugged in and have some fun. Not what this said. This S1 switch is not supposed to have any effect whatsoever on this bridge.
You know what it probably is doing? I bet if you engage that and you switch around the pickup selector, the pickup selector won't do anything. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's good to know. All right, stuck with me to the end, so I'll give you my raw reaction to playing the Ultra 2 Telecaster, this one with the Ebony fretboard in solar flare green yellow. Here's the thing, I based my final score on 3 categories: overall playability, overall sound, and overall value. So we'll kick it off with playability. This neck, like I said before, as I suspected, is an absolute knockout. It's a real standout in terms of the feel and playability. They've really harped on that as being a key feature, and there they did deliver. Satin finish on the neck, rolled edges feel fantastic. I'm really a fan of rolled edges. That's on the Player 2 series as well. Feels fantastic. Contoured heel, you can get all up and down the neck, no problem. Guitar is very well balanced. Nice weight also lends to kind of playability. And I'll tell you what, extremely playable guitar. Ebony always feels just so luxurious, just really nice, dense hardwood there. And it feels fantastic. Overall playability, I have absolutely no complaints. I even like, from a playability standpoint, quick tuning, quick string changes with the locking tuners. I'm gonna go ahead and give this guitar a 9.3 on overall playability. Extremely playable. As described, this is an extremely fast playing neck, and it feels premium. It feels fantastic. I really dig it. Now to sounds. I always kind of take a breath and sigh when I see noiseless on there. This is not a traditional Telecaster, that's pretty apparent. It's got an Ebony fretboard, nothing traditional about that. It's got all the body contours. So I guess why stop there? Why put traditional single coil on a pickup when at this price, if you want traditional, you could look at something like the American Vintage 2 line, right? Okay, I get that. But at this price, $21.99, we're talking sounds and we're talking noiseless. And here's the deal with the noiseless pickups. You can put a comment and let me know what you thought of the sounds. When I hear a Fender noiseless pickup, it sounds to me like what happens when you take a humbucker and you do like a coil split. That coil split humbucker sound to me does not sound like a single coil pickup. And this sounds like that in some iteration.Maybe not as extreme, but to me it just doesn't sound or respond like a single coil pickup. But let's talk sounds in terms of the S1. So I'm gonna tell you now, I'm not a fan of noiseless pickups. Never have been. I gave these an equal shot. Don't like the sound of them. They sound glassy, nasally, and they don't sound like single coils to me. That's just my opinion. Now add in this S1 switch, which does do something cool. It puts in middle position, it puts it in series. And what it makes is just this like screaming hot, almost humbucker sound. It takes your 2 pickups, puts them in series wiring for a big full sound. But here's one major complaint I have about the wiring. You would think that when you push that S1 switch on this particular guitar, it only has effect in middle position, meaning if I'm playing in middle, I have standard, and then I push the S1, I would get series. Not the case. When you have the S1 engaged, it is like a bypass for all the other controls. So what I mean by that is if I'm in middle with series engaged, the S1 engaged, and I move to any other position thinking that I'm going to be moving from middle to bridge or bridge to neck, that's all null and void if you have the S1 down. The S1 down means you are in middle series, period, no matter what you do with the controls. And the problem with the sound and playability aspect there is that it's easy to forget that you have the S1 switch on, and it doesn't bypass it does bypass when you use the controls. To me, that's kind of a failing of the wiring. I don't like that at all. So I guess that also goes into playability. But all that to say, I'm gonna go ahead and give the sound of this guitar, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7.4 on overall sound. And then when it comes to value, at $21.99, they do give you the more modern molded TSA hardshell case, which is my favorite hardshell Fender case. It's very road tough, very modern, and very just nice case. So I love that that's included. They did go all out in terms of the appointments at this price. It feels like a nicely appointed, expensive top-of-the-line guitar. All the details are there in terms of playability. I guess what I would do if they handed me this guitar and said, this is your guitar forever, I'd have to ditch the noiseless pickups. I guess that's considered a premium feature here, so if that works for you, that's great. For me personally, it doesn't work for me. Overall value at $21.99 with the very playable neck, with the contours and all that. Oh, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 8.5 on overall value. And if you are in the market for this guitar or any other gear, remember to buy new gear using our link. You can find that pinned in the comments or down below in the description, along with a link to my new original music as well. So check all that out down below. Brings us to a final score of 8.4 for the Fender American Ultra 2 Telecaster with the Ebony fretboard and solar flare. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. For Play and Trade Guitars, I'm John, that's Zach behind the camera, and make sure you hit subscribe. We have a major giveaway announcement with a hint over my shoulder. So hint, hint. Be subscribed, be here for our next video, drop a comment, and then let me know what you think, and buy gear using our link. See you next time, take care.